Welcome back, everyone, to the Decod3rs channel. It's been a minute. It's been a long time. Jazz is back. Welcome back, Jazz. It's been like literally like 40 minutes. That's good. And okay, I'm hype. Like, okay, you saw her doing the mint, the 24-hour stream. It was a bit hectic. We didn't like. I was a bit stretched everywhere. That was a bit like something. But now we are going to talk about you, Neppah, and Sharky for 1 hour. It's gonna be dope. Welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back on to Decod3rs. My second time officially being on. Yes. I know the first time was during your guys' 24 hours, which I feel like was like 28 hours. You guys are insane.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was way more than 24 hours.
Insane.
It was long. It was long.
Wow. So I'm happy to be back on so we can dive deeper and get a little bit more personal and learn about Sharky.
Exactly. That's what we are going to do tonight. Let's go.
And you were live when we minted out, actually. You know, and then Vince, and then you had to watch Vince live dev while we chatted.
Yes. And then I watched Sharky devs do what they did, and then we got Decod3rs up like 10 minutes, 20 minutes after that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Sharky. Yes, see, Mitchell. Yeah, see, Sharky on the top right. Okay, Neppah, you don't have like the YouTube frame, but I put like the Sharky logo. Okay. It's the beginning of the branding stuff project.
Nice.
So, yes, we're doing that. We professionalize the streams.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's up, F, Carlos? Yeah, hope you're doing good. And AMQ, F, Redbeard. Enjoy the show, guys. Enjoy the show, and thank you for coming back on the channel after the stream that we just had with Carl from Jelly. Okay, so Neppah, people know you, but for if they don't know your story, how did you end up working and even Sharky? What's your Web3 journey, and how did you end up at Sharky? Like, make it what it is right now.
Yeah,
tell me
one of my favorite stories to tell, to be honest, and I probably will end up repeating my whole self and posting on my podcast because I have a podcast. I just want to share the story because I do think it's interesting. I think it's unique, and I do think I got into my Web3 career. I don't know. It was like divine timing. So basically, I learned about crypto in a Discord already. Already had Discord. Discord was made for gamers. I'm a gamer. I didn't have a mic. Boom. Discord comes into play. Fast forward, I was working as a security officer. Not the one with guns. I wasn't a cool one. I was just sitting on my ass all day protecting Ford trucks. So just making sure people don't steal trucks. And then I took my laptop with me a lot. Stumbled upon a YouTube video about crypto, and then stumbled upon a YouTube video about stocks, got into a community within Discord, and this stock community within that Discord had a small section with crypto in it, and I just found it amazing. Kept looking at that, kept asking questions, started reading white papers, boom,
that's dope.
Got into crypto. So I think with this Discord, since I started asking questions, and then I started reading, in the same Discord, I started then answering questions because, once you have knowledge, you want to share that knowledge. And then push comes to shove, someone in this Discord creates their own project, their own company, I want to say. They create their own company and they reach out to me to be community manager. This said project is NeoNexus. So shout out to y'all who know about NeoNexus. This is when metaverses was the meta. This is late 2021. It's a rug now. I didn't rug. The founder rugged. But that's how I got into my Web3 journey, basically. It's just being super active on Discord, being super interested in asking questions, then answering those questions. I think I built up trust. Someone trusted me, reaches out to me. Fast forward, the founder rugged, basically blew through all of the money. Insane how you can blow through millions of dollars in Web3. Super insane. But also insane how you can also get a hold of millions of dollars in Web3. So it's a lot of opportunities around. But fast forward, lost that job, and shout out to Leon Gabon. He invested into Sharky, knew they needed a community manager, and then connected me. So it's really just about connections. On the side, I was always in Discord. I always like helping out in Discord. So on the side, I still help out Discords for free. I still moderate Discords. Like, I just like being in Discord, honestly. I'm home all the time. But that's how I started my Web3 career. It was really just falling into place for me. That's one of my favorite things to say, is everything is falling into place. And it surely did for me. I'm a firm believer in having those affirmations, because following up to getting my career in Web3, I did affirm that. I did say everything is falling into place for a good month or two. And then you see it happen. It's crazy how the world works. But that's how my journey started. I've been with Sharky since March of 2022. So it's been a while now. And I say a core team member now because I started off as head of community. But then naturally in a startup, if there's gaps to fill, there's going to be someone to fill it. And I like working. So naturally, I went into partnerships, went into growth, went into social media management. So I do a few things, but it's mainly just engaging with community. Anywhere that I could be with community and people, that's where you guys are going to find Neppah. But yeah, that's how everything started, though.
That's cool. And all in between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. And this that whole time frame was just late 2021 for those who was wondering too. So I got into my Web3 career when Solana was about $200. And I would say that's what has me stay. That's what got me to stay in Solana, actually. Like the fact that I have a career, that's why I'm still here, being completely honest.
Like, and like the bull market, it's like the perfect moment to for us, it's really easy to onboard people because everyone is making money. And then you have one cycle because it's like the bull markets, and then you get money, you get rich in 2 weeks, and then you lose everything because everything go back to 95%. But then if you stick around and during the bear market, and you can like leave the other one, like hopefully you can learn some lesson and take some profit. Right? Not myself.
But definitely. It's cool. Yeah, next bull market, best believe I will be taking profit. And any of you guys who are like diamond hands, nope. You guys will be my liquidity this next bull market. No, but there is some projects and a lot of NFTs I've held throughout this whole bear market and have diamond handed. I personally don't find any reason why I would sell in this market unless you need the money. I won't sell. I would be holding and will be diamond handing until I can sell my assets for a higher price for sure.
It makes more sense to diamond head like long-term project right now than selling at the peak or bottom of the market, the bear market. That's for sure. And like you have some roles on like the Decod3rs server because we track people holding and community stuff, and you have a lot of roles.
It's simple. It's pretty simple, to be honest. Like I just make sure the community is informed on Twitter, make sure they're informed on Discord, and then reach out to partners. That's basically what my role is. So I say a lot, but it's pretty simple when you really look into what I'm doing. It all ties in together, I think.
Oh yeah, and you have like a high presence in Twitter space and stuff. Like I see you everywhere I go, you're here.
Oh yeah, you gotta be consistent. I think it's worth paying attention to us and those builders and developers that are pretty consistent in this bear market. I mean, maybe not developers, because I don't think they have time or care to be on Twitter as much as a community manager. But I would definitely pay attention to those companies that are still active in Twitter nowadays. And I do think it's very beneficial for us to have an active Twitter presence.
100%. Yeah, I mean, like that, because we are like only 10 people left on Solana, like the ones who are still there, you can notice them, right?
Correct.
I just want to interject for both of you guys. When profit time comes and you guys need help, let me know. I will help you take profits. I have no problem taking profits, guys. I'm very good at that. It is a strength of mine. I know how to take profits. So if anybody out there struggling Solana with just holding forever, Ryan, you're always included in this conversation. Just reach out to me. I will not tell you when to sell, but I will help you.
Bro, you will need to send me some screenshot of our previous conversation next time.
Yes, I'm sure I encouraged you at some point to sell some Decod3rs here and there.
And
Ryan just inboxed me. Help me take profits.
I'm really good at, well, I was good at taking profits, especially with stocks. I was an options trader.
Nice.
You're gonna want to know and how to take profits doing options. But with NFTs, like same way, I was here to make money, but I didn't expect me to be so emotionally attached to like the community,
It's
to
crazy.
my assets.
Yeah.
I see how we can be emotionally attached to our assets because at first stocks and crypto, you know, my mind and emotions aren't on those. But NFTs, when I start to know the people and the teams behind the NFTs I hold, that's when I have trouble taking profits. And I'm like, wait, I don't want to sell this. It's kind of like selling a friendship, even though it's not. We know it's not. And I think we can all be adults where we can sell assets and take the profit and be happy for one another and still have that connection. But that's where I stand with NFTs right now. Like it's easy to get emotionally connected to. So I do think it's beneficial, like before you buy an NFT, let yourself know, why are you buying this? If you want to make profit, let yourself know at what price should you consider taking profit. Things like that, just helping to manage your assets and when to take profits. I think that works.
But I think, okay, so for me, it's also like leverage and like also the brand of like, I mean, like a lot of Decod use whatever blocksmiths, etc. That opened doors too, right? Like you made connection that also valuable. I don't know if it's worth like millions of dollars connection stuff, but like, you know, and like it's not an identity, but like again, a leverage that I can use because I can flex the bags or whatever. Maybe it's dumb because that doesn't, it's not worth.
Well, I mean, in your situation, your situation has helped you a lot because the networking that you've gotten from your bags has helped us grow Decod3rs even. So, I mean, I'm not upset you haven't sold your bags yet. But for me, I mean, it's
interesting.
I think a strong community will keep you from taking profits as well, because you don't want to leave the community.
Absolutely.
So I mean, unless you knew in the beginning to like stock up and like buy like 10 of these, because that way you can take profits on 5 or 6, and then you can still stay in the community. You know, but like for me, you know, I had a hard time selling my Decods and my FFF because I love the communities and it was a big part of me. But at the same time, I'm always been business. I've always been business. So I was like, the time to sell is now, I think. And I pulled the trigger on it, you know, and I had to sell. So
good on you. Good on you. And thanks for mentioning that too. That's something that took me a while to understand for some reason. I think I was about 6 months to a year in the market when I realized I was going about it all wrong, and that if you mint a collection and you have conviction and think you can make money, possibly consider minting multiple of that. It took me a few mints to finally realize, oh, I should be buying multiple. So for me, with my price range I work with, it's 2 to 3 that I usually mint, with the goal of selling off at least one, covering the price, and then you can just sit on the rest. But I do think that will work. I feel like that'll always work with NFTs. Of course, if the collection goes down, like you're not always going to make profit on that, but minting multiple so you can hold some and stay a part of that community and make your profits was a play. I'm glad I learned eventually. Hopefully you guys listening, not financial advice, but just consider your strategies with some things. I'm looking at the comments and they're like, I get it. Like I came into NFTs to make bags and ended up getting attached. I feel like most of us is going through that for sure.
And Carlos is getting attached to his unrevealed Decod3rs right now.
Lid reveal.
Soon. She's drawing at the moment.
We're gonna have a service in Decod3rs. It's gonna be Jazz helps me sell and takes profits.
I learned the hard way by diamond handing my Bulldogs billionaires. Oh shit, what's the price of the Bulldogs billionaires? Oh, that's
they were printing for a while. I mean, when I first met Apalia, Bulldogs were printing. They were doing very well. So I could see why you stayed there. But you know, it's sad, like most collections, you know, the founders just get dead in the water, so to say, or they get distracted by real life with all their money that they're making.
It's 0.01. Okay, that's sad.
But they were printing for a while. They had a token that was
10, 20, right?
Yeah, it might have been even higher at some point, maybe 30 Sol at one point. And this was back when Sol was like $80, $90. if not maybe 60 to 90 in that range.
Yeah,
I forget. Yeah, I think it was March of 2022. I think Sol was like $80.
Yeah, but yeah, Neppah, you're right. Like they say, like you mean 3. Like you sell the first one when you do a 3x, and then you sell the second one when you do a 5x or 10x, and then you hold the last one forever if you like the community.
Yeah, simple, very simple. Especially when I plug in Sharky to the game. Like when I plug in Sharky, that's something I mentioned to you guys on the 24-hour stream. But when I do mint a collection, sometimes I'm a that's actually 100% the time that I borrow. I'm mostly a lender, but for me, it makes sense to borrow during mints, not using my own capital. I have researched into OPM, other people's money, and how you can utilize that. So when a mint comes up, I like borrowing against my NFTs and using that capital, especially when I can make profit. So boom, I borrow against an NFT, I take a loan, I mint with the funds of that loan. I mint a few NFTs, and I did this with Shark's collection, actually. So I borrowed against my SODAD. I used that loan to mint, I think, about 2 to 3 sharks. And then with the goal in mind, though, I have the goal in mind. I'm using this loan to mint sharks. And once our floor price hits 10 to 15, I will be selling off some sharks to pay off this loan. Luckily, we did hit 10 floor price within, I think, a few days. So I was able to sell off that loan. But boom, that's the game right there. Take a loan, and not financial advice. This is what I did. Take a loan, use that loan to mint multiple, sell off one for your profit, plus more, pay your price for the loan, and boom, you still have NFTs. You didn't even use a single penny of yours.
What do you do if the mint is going to shit?
If the mint goes to shit, you're fucked. No.
Well, yeah, like you said, it's not financial advice. It's just a strategy. It's just a strategy.
It's a strategy,
and it's a very well thought out strategy. Because even me, when we were talking in 24-hour, I was like, wait a minute, I never even thought about that. Because that is a method I would use. Because why take Sol out of? And then the good thing is, if you do have the capital, if the mint goes to shit, you just buy back your loan, and then you're out the money anyway that you would have been. And so it's kind of like you're lessening the risk. If the mint does well, you're golden. But if it does fall and it does go to shit, you're still going to probably lose the same money you would have lost. But at least you're not, you're not playing with your own money if it does well, and you're just making money off of money you already had. So it's like I said, it's a strategy. It's not financial advice. Just a strategy.
And you guys mentioned a few good points too. One, thank you for mentioning that, Jaws. I never take out a loan if I know I don't even have that capital to begin with. If I take out a loan, I know I have money to cover it, because my intentions is just to not use my money. I know I have it, but I don't want to use it. This is similar to how people do it in Web 2. They take out loans, they use debt, they pay for real estate, and then eventually they're in profit. So
people leverage real estate like that all the time. Buy a house, take a loan out on the value, buy another house, rent out the first house to pay for it. And
but
you just repeat.
I do want to just make sure people know I personally make sure I have the capital before taking out a loan. And then the second point you mentioned was thanks for asking that, V. Just like asking the risk. Like if the mint doesn't go well, of course you risk paying back that loan plus interest. Or you risk paying back that loan plus interest.
Plus the assets if you don't pay back the loan.
Exactly. That's the other opposite. So fortunately, I've never been in a situation where the mint does not do well. There's only a few chances or a few times where I felt like it was going to be a win-win situation. So I'm probably the 1% that does read white papers, does research into the team. Like just working for Sharky has helped with connections too, because if you're going to mint, I'm going to reach out to you. I want to get to know you and why you want to mint. And once I got that personal connection, that's usually when I mint. So in this bear market, I've been able to survive because I just don't mint everything. Mint what you know. I only mint from people that I've made connections with. And while that is kind of narrow, and I probably am missing out on some opportunities, it's also been a good way to not lose money.
Exactly.
Not lose a lot of money.
I don't think like people who mint left and right are making a shit ton of money, because best case scenario, you make like a couple of quick flip stuff, but then like the risk reward is too high for like you don't win enough to cover your losses. And if your losses are too big, yeah, you lose everything. But if you win like 2x, 3x. It could be quickly, fast. But yeah, okay. What kind of project do you like? And you're more interested to mint? Like what do you? When is the mint button is tickling?
For me, I think I'm pretty basic and normal of what projects I meant. Like, one, if it's hyped. So I say I focus on connections. So the fact that I focus on connections, if I'm seeing a collection or a project pop up on my timeline multiple times from people I follow, that makes me think, let me look into this. There's something there. And I get that from stocks. So before I got into crypto, I was a social arbitrage trader, which basically trade off of social signals.
Yes.
So if I see a lot of people talking about X thing, I'm going to want to pay attention to X thing and see if I can capitalize off of that. So yeah, that's like my first rule. One, if I'm seeing it a lot, I'm going to research into it. If I don't hear about it and you want me to mint it, if the people that I know and my friends, like if you two aren't talking about this collection, I'm not going to be interested in the collection, especially if you guys don't know about it. I respect you guys. I value you. So the collections you bring up, I'm going to want to look into that. If you don't bring it up, it's not worth my time. So that's one. And two, so just based off the hype, based off of social sentiment. And two, like I said, just knowing the team, knowing they're actually building something valuable, and being utility based. I do like utility based projects. I think that's been the win in this market is utility based projects. We've seen projects try to mint that's centered around community, and it doesn't really work out in the end when they don't have like a platform like Decod3rs have with the streaming one. So that's really it. Like, it doesn't take much for me to mint, but at the same time, I do need some context. Like, I might need to know the team. I need to know why I should mint. I want to know who else is minting. But yeah, it's always been a simple strategy for me. If I hear it, I'll look into it. If I don't hear it, I'm not going to spend the time on it.
Is there a Neppah alpha group chat?
There is not. I've been actually looking. I've been looking for the group chats. If y'all know, let me know. I've seen a lot more activity on X. I don't know if you guys know that. So I feel like, I don't know if you guys have seen the activity you pick up on X and group chats, but I know with Mad Lads and Bad Environment Club, they created like an X group chat. And I want more of those. Like, I don't really do group chats on X a lot. So
I had group chat on Twitter. Like, what the fuck? Like, I can't mute them. No, it's like, because I like to have my notification to 0, and then like I have to click to every group chat to like put them as read. And if I mute them, I still have the notification. So every day I check all of the conversation. I'm not even reading it. Just like it.
You were doing it all wrong, because I'm the same way. But just take off the notification and take off that badge symbol. Like, don't do that badge symbol. If you're an iPhone user, don't take off the badges.
Yeah, but like there's a notification and stuff.
I did exactly that for Twitter. I turned off my notifications, and I only see them when I open my Twitter app. But I usually have Twitter open on my desktop, so I leave my group chat open on the right window, and it keeps the notification away because it's active and open. So when someone replies, it doesn't show a notification. So that's my little hack to that, where I don't get notifications all the time.
That's cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you just gotta leave it on a window open on your desktop, and have your DMs open on the bottom where they like pop up, like where the spaces pop up. If you do that, then they just filter in there as being read because it's open. So as long as you don't have more than like 5 group chats. If you have like 20 group chats, and the ones that are not seen on the screen will show us,
Wookie, that's called OCD fam. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's you.
I mean, like, okay, so my email needs to be inbox 0. Like, I don't have notification. Like, I don't have the badge on Discord. Okay, on Discord, it needs to be 0 notification. Everything needs to be read at all time. I don't understand people who have like 12,000 notification on email. Like, what the fuck?
Ryan just sent me a screenshot. Discord has 5,000 notifications.
Holy crap. No, yeah, I'm the same way as you, V. Like, my Discord has 9, my Telegram has 13, and I'm going to clear those out by the end of the day.
See?
I literally have nothing red on my phone.
Exactly.
Nothing shows red on my phone. I don't have any notifications. I clear them all out all the time.
I think that's one of the ways that I've stayed sane as a community manager, actually. It's just the notifications. I figured, because when I first started my Web3 career, I was working 7 days a week, almost 24/7. You know, you're passionate, there's synergy, there's a lot of energy in the air, especially during mint times as a community mod or manager. So that's something that I learned to do pretty early on, is turn off the Discord notifications, turn off the Discord DMs. Don't let anybody be able to friend request you on Discord. I do have to friend request you guys. But that's a few things I just make sure I'm saying, because if not, I'd have way too much going on. I don't do Discord, Telegram. I have no notifications on my phone, but messages. And I think if I scroll down, I'll have the notifications of Telegram, but they don't pop up. But I do recommend, I will definitely recommend people mess around with their notifications how they want it. Because I'm just a firm believer. Like, for example, if we're in meditation, if we're in a good mood, Zen mode, and then you get a notification, it could completely mess up your day. So I just don't like how technology has kind of been intrusive to us in that sense. Like, it can be very intrusive. So I just take my chances and turn off notifications. So I go on Twitter because I want to. I go on Discord because I want to, not because a notification pops up.
Your phone is not taking you to your phone. Like, you decide to go to your phone. I have my phone always on focus. Like, I decide to read the notification shit. But
I think that's how I've stayed sane for sure.
There is a few projects having a long list of utilities. They are pushed hard by the hunger influencer, which never gets operational. How do you tackle that, Neppah? It's basically like the curse of utility project, right? Like, you have hype means project, and then so like they have to continuously get the hype. And you have like the utility project when they fly, but then they go back. They can go back down a bit faster, or they don't fly that much.
You got me as soon as you typed in influencer. That's when you got me. As soon as influencers touch the project, I'm out of the project unless I know the influencer. So that's how I tackle that. I just don't touch them. Like, I get it. The project can have a long list of utilities, so it may look good, but if it's pushed super hard, like, I think we can all read energy as humans. We get energy a lot. If you see it's being pushed hard, that to me just signals, if it has to be pushed this hard, then the product's not as good. If it has to be pushed this hard, then the utility is not this good. And I've learned, like, in my Web3 career, I've learned we also have to be super aware of how we spend our capital. So if I know a team is spending their capital possibly for influencers to push their product, that's also a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep that capital, especially in a bear market. Do not spend that to make influencers push you. So that's how I tackle that. I just won't. I wouldn't touch it with a 5-foot pole.
But like, don't you think like project need those influencers to even like ignite like the hype, and then they can be legit anyway? Because for projects who don't do it, then they never get into the radar of people. So you don't have volume, you don't have shit.
Right. Yeah, to a certain extent, you do need to utilize quote unquote influencers and market your shit. I get that. Because just speaking of with Sharky, I think we even had a big Twitter space around our mint time where we invited influencers. So we've used influencers around our mint at Sharky. So I think to a certain extent it makes sense. But once you see them pushing it hard, if this project is on those influencers' timeline daily, in their Twitter spaces daily, those influencers were paid. As soon as you get the energy or the idea that someone was paid for it, you automatically know that's a financial incentive. They're not worried about you or your bags. They're just worried about the money gains. Simple as that. But to a certain extent, use influencers. Like, if I see a project on a Twitter space hosted by a few of some big influencers, that automatically isn't going to be a red flag.
Yeah.
There has to be context included. So yeah, I would just say play it by ear. To a certain extent, they should be using influencers. But if you feel like they're overreaching and if you feel like they paid a lot for it, then it's no good. No good.
Use common sense, kids.
Yeah, I think you can tell an organic marketing from an influencer compared to a paid shill. You know, because if a project's decent, influencers may still be bullish on them organically. So you know, it's important to know the difference. And like you were saying, like a Spaces, say if so and so has Spaces and they hosted, you know, say a project that was up and coming, they might have done it because they actually respect the project and really dig what they're building. Whereas, you know, most of the time people are paying for those spaces. But you could tell once you do your research into that project, okay, there's a little bit of hype here, and it's because they actually are doing something decent. Then you'll kind of know if the influencer was paid for it, because it was just a run-of-the-mill, basic staking, basic art, basic everything. You know that that influencer was paid.
Yeah.
Hands down, you know it was paid. You
I
know,
mean, I do want to mention stages though. Like if I was in a pretty early stage, 0 to 200 followers, I've never been a founder. So this is just me speaking genuinely. But if I had 0 to 200 followers trying to grow my page, trying to grow my company, I definitely reach out to influencers. And I do think the beginning stages is when you do want to spend some capital. We do have to spend money to make money. So it does depend on stages too. If it's a smaller company with a small amount of followers, yeah, I would expect them to use some capital to start having noise on the market. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out for Carlos's question, because it does depend on what stage. If you see an X account with 20,000 plus followers, but if you see 5 likes, exactly. If you see an X account with 20,000 followers, 5 likes, but on like big Twitter spaces, that's weird. That's weird. Stuff like that.
It's like we had a couple of projects that they had like more followers than people on Earth, and then they were not fucking able to mint out, or like had 0 volume in the secondary, like 5 minutes after the mint. Crazy shit. But But anyway.
I think there was a meta to like pay for Twitter followers at some point 100%. When OKBears minted. I think it was around the time OKBears minted, but projects just thought it was cool to have 200,000 followers, but couldn't mint out a 10,000 collection. Like, really
that was something. But yeah, at that time, Solana was like $100, $200. It's a good time.
Okay, Bears, you're taking me back. That's when I used to mint the flip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but there is one project that I minted Sharky. I didn't flip it.
I minted it and I took profits.
Yeah, I took profit because I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't understand Sharky right away, so I sold my stack that I minted on the Blocksmith Lab, like the was the launchpad. Bifrost. Yes, that was dope. That was so happy. So yeah, Sharky for free, and then sold for 15 Sol, I think.
I actually have to shout out Vince here because he is a goat. I got into the Forge mint. I got into the Forge mint, but I didn't have the Forge. And don't you know, Vince just sent me the Forge to mint, and when I went to pay him back, he said, "Don't worry about it."
Nice.
So I literally minted 3 sharks, 1 with Forge, 2 with Soul.
Oh wow!
And when I sold all 3, of course, I was way in the profits because Vince paid for one of my mints. Vince pretty much gave me 6 Soul of Forge. I think it was like 6 Soul at the time, right?
Sweep the Decod3rs floor, bro.
Go look in my wallet, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I miss Bifrost. They launched like 3 killer collections.
Exactly.
And I think we like broke their launch pad, and they were like, we have a lot more to focus about focus on.
It was Sharky, Fruits, and another one.
Centuries, I think. Centuries.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, I think
that's cool.
I really Centuries with the RPC nodes. Yeah.
Carlos, Vince is alpha mal. Yeah, bro, if you need more bonuses on the platform right now, if you want some extra views, don't hesitate. Just slide in the DMs.
Hey, I am always thankful. If someone hooks me up with something, I will definitely say they're a goat. I mean, my first D-God came because of this guy too. I mean,
oh shit, that's true.
Vince is a goat. Literally, I got a D-God just from being a whale on a project that he was a dev for, that he donated to Decod3rs to for raffles and auctions. So
it's working with Mac.
Yes. It only works for him because he's the OBS host.
Oh man, I was like, hold on, I want to do.
Yeah, I know he's got the special talent. But yeah, Vince is the alpha male when it comes to being like, I am super generous. I give away shit all the time, but I don't know if I would have given away a Decod when the floor price was like 250 Sol.
Was it 250 Sol?
It was 10 Sol when you said we're going to give them away. But when the giveaway happened, they were like 250 Sol, and you still followed through. And you gave away 2.
So fucking dumb, bro.
No. But that's the thing. Like once you understand stuff like that about a founder, because like this goes to what Neppah was talking about. When you understand teams, now you know Vince at one time donated 2 Decod3rs at 10 Sol and then still followed through with it when they were 250 Sol. Shows you the kind of person he is as a founder, as a dev, and the kind of person he is in the space. Because a lot of people were like, listen, guys, price is going up a little bit. I got something else that's worth 10 Sol. Let's do that instead.
Bye, bitches.
Yeah, you are a super good person for that. I don't even know if I'd do that. I'd be like, show me the receipts. What's really
I mean, I can think of maybe 5 Decod3rs this man's given away when they were over 200 Sol.
What?
At least. Yeah, you gave Ryan. You paid for services.
Yeah, true. Yes,
but you gave Ryan one.
Yes, true.
You gave Ryan one. I mean, it was a reward because he's been helping you, and
exactly.
But think about that. You could pay a guy $5,000. No, I'll give him a Decod3rs. It was worth $14K at the time.
Fair enough.
Yes, Vince is he's definitely the alpha male. I'm a proud person. I have a decent, comfortable life, but Vince is definitely more generous than me.
That's okay. And enough about me. I like to talk about myself. It's good. It's my best favorite topics, but let's focus on Sharky.
Yes, I like to talk about myself and Sharky.
Oh, I saw you like talking about me. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Oh my gosh, you're the same. I believe when I was first exposed to you, Vince, it was in a Twitter space, and you said exactly that. You were like, hi guys, really? I just came up here because I want you to listen to me and like me. You said yes. That was like one of our first spaces, and I was like, I like this guy.
Like he's real. I like that. Let's go. He's being honest. Let's go.
Honestly, like people like to talk about themselves. That's why I like this channel will be like, we will never run out of guests because people like to talk about their project, themselves. It's cool. Like we are like guests, and like we're never gonna run out of guests. That's gonna be
It's a crazy thing because I know us as humans, we can be like, oh, it's a stupid question, or we don't want to ask, or that. I try to tell people like I am where I am today, one, because I've watched other people do it and look into what they've done.
Exactly.
But 2, ask questions. We love to talk about ourselves. Reach out to those DMs. If it's a question pertaining to them, I feel like a majority of the time you will get answered because we do like talking about ourselves. So I just like reminding people that, like, ask questions, reach out to someone you want to reach out to, and figure out how they got where they want to be and where you want to be, because they most certainly will want to talk about themselves. We just like doing that.
It's fun.
It is.
Also, like, people are like putting like their inside and compared to the outside of people. So like what people like show, like allow themselves to show who they are and like how do they feel, etc. You're comparing with your inside, and obviously it's fucked up because like the other person is shiny, blah blah blah, and then your own demons and stuff. So you're gonna always lose this battle. So it's kind of bullshit. And also people don't really give a shit about you, so you can fucked up and like the day after, like they just don't even fucking remember it, So like everything is so ephemeral, like instant, like nothing really matters, right? You can fucked up and just like do another time, do it again the day after, and then you're still there. Like it's
for sure.
Exactly. But okay, Sharky. Okay, bear market, Sharky. How can I use Sharky to print my bag? A bag. Okay, mint. I can take my NFTs to mint more. Is there any use case that you do? How do you use Sharky yourself? for mint or for anything
So
else?
for me, I mainly lend. So I use Sharky to earn more Solana.
Yes.
Because while I'm not minting that Solana that I'm not using to mint, I just lend out. I don't lend out all of my Solana. Wouldn't recommend doing that. That's super risky. But lend out a portion of your Solana you're not using. And another conversation I could really bring up is lending versus staking. I'm seeing a lot of people want to stake, and then lending can be a part of the question too. It's really about your risk reward. Staking, of course, is less riskier, so less rewards. If you want more rewards, a little bit more risk, you can lend. If you want even more risk but more rewards, you can try to buy and trade NFTs. But for me in this bear market, I've been utilizing it and making money by being a lender. And I do believe a lot of our users have been making money profitably by just being lenders, also by being borrowers. Some of the borrow strategies, I know I mentioned mine, but another one is just hedging against your position, protecting your position. I would love to bring up the conversation in Solana if we even need insurance protocols when we have lending protocols. Because I don't know if we need insurance protocols when I have an NFT and I can borrow against it and take out a loan and insure that price. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I have an NFT with a floor price of 11. I take out a loan for 9 SOL. Boom, that's my insurance. If the floor price goes down, I'll keep that 9 SOL. So that's a bit of the strategies of how people have been making money or protecting their money in the bear market with Sharky, for sure.
That's actually interesting that you point that out, because if you think that the NFT is going to have a downtrend, you can get ahead of it by taking a loan out on it and pretty much selling at a higher, if you've proven to be right that it's going to have that downtrend. So like you said, 11 SOL. Hey, you know, I'm really bearish on this, but I don't want to sell it.
Right.
I don't want to risk it in case. So take a loan out for 9 SOL on it. And then if it happens to get crushed and go down to 7 SOL, you now have sold where you probably would have tried to sell on the way down, which is really hard to do, because when a lot of people are selling, it's almost impossible to undercut the floor in a way or take a bid real quick and get out. So it's actually a good strategy you put that. But I do have a question for you. You, as a person that is lending, what kind of research are you doing on the projects that you're putting loans out on? Like, for example, let's say I want to put a loan out on a blocksmith, like a smith. Are you looking at certain things in their charts? Are you like really doing deep research before you decide to take that loan? Do you particularly like focus on specific projects because you know they're solid? Like, what is your strategy there? Because I'm curious, because I want to get into it. So I'm kind of curious from someone that's doing it, like what your strategy is.
Yeah, great question. Thank you for asking. And side note, shout out to Wook in the audience. We do see Wook a lot. I believe I saw you in a Twitter space today talking about NFT lending. So shout out to you, Wook. They use it for low entries through foreclosures. Of course, if you're a lender, like we said, you can get low entries. But the strategies or the things that I look for to lend is, one, I will never lend towards a collection that I don't care to hold. Just in case you do receive a foreclosure or default, you want to make sure that's an NFT that you don't care to hold. And it's an NFT that you do think will be around for a while, so you could potentially recover your position. So that's one for me. Two, it's pretty general for me, really. I never do deep research. What I just mentioned, and then two, just the solid projects. I like lending. I'm a small lender, believe it or not. I like lending on smaller collections between 1 to 10 SOL. My favorite collection to lend on is Pixel Puffs. This is a collection with 500 Pixel Puffs. A small community on Solana, a one-of-one community. The artist and the founder is Macy. Shout out to Macy. But I like lending towards Pixel Puffs, which I think their floor is at 4 or 5 Solana, because I don't think they're going anywhere. I am probably like the 5th holder out of that whole entire collection. So I don't think they're going anywhere. I actually think Pixel Puffs are bound to be 100 SOL eventually. So that's a collection I'm going to continuously lend on. Or collections already hold. So that's Puffsters, that's Sharks itself. It would probably be recommended to lend on Sharks. If I get more, that's like, boom, more for me. But yeah, I like lending on collections that, one, I know about, two, I hold or want to hold. 3, 7-day loans. I only do 7-day loans. I do not touch 14-day loans. I barely lend on sharks with the 16 days just because I don't like having my money locked up for that long. I don't like having that position locked up for that long. But the 14-day loans are usually blue chips, so they are safer to do. But just as a lender, I like having my Solana within a week. So that's like a few things that I look at. 7-day loans only. I do look at the APY. So if you want to look at a higher APY, higher than 180, that's our average, and lend towards collections that you know is going to go up and not down, and things like that. Yeah, I've never really lent towards a collection. No, I have. I've lent towards collections and have received defaults, and that's because they're new mints. I'm a risky lender sometimes. When new mints come on the market, I like being one of the first liquidity providers of it. So I think Groovies, I've got like 3 Groovies because I like gave them like all 0.7 SOL and the floor price is like 0.3. So I got some Groovies and that's like whatever. But yeah, as a lender, that's what I look at.
Yeah, like nice. in the first minute of like the Decod3rs listing or Sharky, you make some money. So that's dope.
Yeah. Oh, Decod3rs, shout out to Decod3rs. I lent towards you guys that first day. I think I gave 3 to 5 loans.
Let's go.
They were all paid back. They were all paid back within 48 hours. Really, I was like, oh, this is like either people trying to. It was really free and fast. Yeah. It was people probably trying out the borrow. It was people probably. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people tried Sharky that were Decod3rs. And shout out to you guys. We appreciate it.
it's like those people that buy 1 token on FFF just to make sure it's right before they buy more. Like they want to make sure it's the right token, so they buy 1 and they're like, yeah, this is real. Okay, cool.
I mean, it's what I did to learn Sharky. At first, I just gave a loan. You can give loans and take it away immediately. So to learn Sharky, when I first got hired, I had to give an offer. I had to borrow just to learn. I didn't have to, but it did help you out with learning. So for the people that do borrow and pay back instantly, shout out to you. The only thing you had to pay was interest, and now you got education. You pay, 0.2 or even if that 0.2 stolen interest, and you got your education. So cheers to that. And then I see
7 days the lowest you can do on Sharky.
Yes, 7 days is currently the lowest. We did take a poll to see if people want to see 3 or 5 days. They want to see 3. The blocker on that 3-day loans for Sharky is the way we want to go about it. Sharky does like being simple, and there is a front end blocker, I believe. Because with the 7 and 14-day loans, it's still all on one page. And so if we want all of those order books to be 3 days as well, it would basically be duplicate of all of that. So we're kind of finding a way of how to introduce smaller duration loans, but still have a very simple and sleek front end. So unfortunately, I feel like that also got put in the backlog. Like we tried to figure that out. Then like PNFTs came up or something, and then devs like prioritized it. It's always something on Solana that comes up, and the devs are like, "Oh wait, we have to do this, or Sharky won't work." PNFTs was a big one.
And then the hype dies, and then like there is no more volume, so it's.
I do
with a slider, like you 3, 7, and 14. And then you do a slider.
I was thinking that, or like a drop down, something like that. I was thinking like I'm no front end dev. If I was, I would have went ham on it. But hey, that might be my next skill that I learned.
And hard filters too, like the filters for the. I want filters.
Okay.
Please give me filters.
What kind of filters?
Like for the defaulted, like the closed and stuff. Like I don't want like a long list. I want to only see what's.
What's a great idea? I was just thinking about, what if someone defaulted on a loan, and it allowed the person who now owns the NFT to sell that default right on Sharky instead of having to floor it if they weren't into the NFT. Like an idea like that, like giving them the option, like all right, this defaulted, you now own this, and then have like an instant sell where someone's buying defaulted loans from that collection for around the price that it's worth. It's just an idea I was just thinking about. Like that would be kind of cool to integrate that right in the Sharky instead of that volume moving over to Magic Eden or Tensor for the instant sale, because that's a lot of people. We see it all the time when you're watching collections. they sell into the bots and they feed the bots. I would rather the person not feed the market maker on those sites and then just be able to take liquidity right from another person directly on Sharky. So it's a good, cool little idea. I don't know if it's something you guys have worked on or thought about.
I feel like this is something, it sounds familiar, so I feel like this is something we've worked on, is that instant sell feature. But if not, I'm definitely putting that in our Slack team chat, because that's a great idea, especially when it keeps traffic on your platform.
Yeah, because it keeps the volume there and it keeps it person to person, which I think is important for collections, because a lot of collections suffer from defaulted loans, and it's not Sharky's fault. It's just people are over leveraging themselves in this space. They're taking loans when they know they can't pay them back because they probably shouldn't have owned that NFT anyway, because now they want to buy another thing. So they keep over investing and over leveraging the little bit of soul that they have, and that causes the defaults. And then the collections get, hammered because all the people do that default that, win the default. They're just selling into the bots and taking that soul back. Most of the time, maybe not all the time, but I do see it a lot. Like you can see, like if you watch a collection that you're bullish on, you can watch the wallets and see the wallets that come from default loans. You can track it. So it's just an idea. I think it would be kind of cool if that person, all right, I just won this Smith, but I don't want it. But now I have the option to sell it to someone right here on Sharky for 10% less than the floor price.
And the order book is already here anyway. So yeah. But see, just like your feature request went to the team chat and mine is in pending.
I know yours will go into the team chat too. The thing is, yours is being worked on because we communicate with our large lenders and borrowers sometimes, and that's one of the issues that one of them has had, that they communicated. It's like, when I have a foreclosed loan, I want to be able to see all of the foreclosed loans first instead of going through a list. So I'll put yours in the team chat too.
No offense. It's okay.
Yeah, like it's fine.
No pressure.
Mitchell. Hey, I also love to hear that you guys are talking via Slack, like outside of Discord, like that. That's bullish. I like that.
Fun fact: both of our founders, Anton and Rhea, they co-founded a software used on Slack. One of the main softwares. I think it's called Toast or something, but they've worked on Slack before. So I think that's just a fun fact to put out there, is that our founders have co-founded another company and successfully sold that. So yeah, I was also super bullish on Sharky when I realized they use team messages on Slack. My first Web3 job, it was Discord, and that's fine. That's where I work, but there are a lot of security issues with Discord. So I do like that we use Slack.
I think Slack and Asana are two softwares outside of Discord that should be used. Asana is very good if you have a project and you're working with a dev. Say if I was the owner of a project, Asana is good because you can categorize things for dev team, for community management, and then you can put things in there that can be worked on, and it can be like blocked up by teams. So that's what's cool about Asana. And Slack is more of a direct communication, where you can tag people, you can have direct messages in there.
Okay,
I've worked in all of them, so
maybe you can trash the crew chat then.
Yeah, I mean, because what happens if Discord doesn't work one day? How do we talk as a team? You know what I mean? Right. Like you can't rely on just Discord.
Just send me fire,
yeah, I'll just fly to Malta and knock on doors. I've seen his good GM post. It's somewhere around here. Just knocking on. Who is this damn American knocking on my door?
From Mitchell, question: why do my loans that I didn't pay back stay open? I have a few NFT that's saying 12-day past due.
Great question. Because once the loan time duration is up, it works as first come, first serve basis. Meaning, let's say you gave a 7-day loan or took a 7-day loan. Once the time for that loan is up, the lender has to manually foreclose. It's not automatic. If that lender does not foreclose, you as a borrower can still pay back. So that's why it works as first come, first serve after the timer is up, which I think our users really like. Because as a borrower, let's say you forget and the lender doesn't want your NFT, you can still pay back. There has been some cases where the lender has never foreclosed, and that can be a nuisance to borrowers. But I've only seen that happen about once. But yeah, that's why, Mitchell, just because it works as first come, first serve, and the lender of the loan has not foreclosed yet, if they ever will. So yeah.
Is that not automatic at some point? Because like after some days, because like I had like I was like taking some loans on Sharks at 14 Sol, and then like the price went under, so I didn't want like to pay. But I got the Sharks at the end of the day anyway. So that's the other person like closing that position, or it just like automatic after? It was a month, right? It was for a month.
Are you talking about as a borrower, like you borrowed loans?
So yeah, I landed my Sol because I ended up with the NFT.
Okay, so you lent the loans and you ended up with the NFT without foreclosing? No, it's never been automatic. So if you ever if you ever gave a loan and that foreclosed and you automatically received the, there has been one case. There has been one case where we automatically foreclosed all loans and sent it back to wallets. And that was when we were fully migrating off of Cardinal. That is what happened. Because we were partnered with Cardinal for our escrow-less loans. So people who borrow, they're able to keep their NFT inside their wallet because we have a feature that's frozen. And we had to migrate off of them. And I believe this may have happened. And correct me if I'm wrong, and if not, we'll move to DMs. But this may have happened about a month or two ago. Is it between a month or two ago?
Oh, yes. No? Yes.
Okay. Then yes,
that's why.
That was probably the one time. You got me scared, but there has been one time where we automatically foreclosed and sent all the NFTs, and that's when we officially migrated. Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Because I wanted the floor to go back, because I wanted like a 100% win ratio, loans like paid, blah blah blah. And it went back. So yeah, I closed it, and now I have 10 Sharks. That was
well, just know. Just know, as a lender, you have to manually foreclose now. So that was a special case for you.
Thank you. Make me VIP.
You're like, thank you. Foreclose all my loans for me.
I'm actually on the Sharky site right now, playing around with some things and experimenting. So
put some loans, put some Decod3rs in there. Like Mitchell put like 9 loans.
I'm actually gonna borrow off of something real quick to check that out, and I'm gonna actually put a loan in on something. I'm gonna test out both.
Okay.
So I'm gonna borrow on a stoned 8 because it's a 14-day, and I know I'll have no problem paying it back. It's only 11 Sol. So that's a safe borrow, just to like play around and see how it works. And it will cost me 0.5 Sol for the education, as you said earlier. It's only 0.5 Sol on the payback.
Now, there is a feature we haven't talked about, which is our loan extension feature.
Let's go.
Take the 0.7. There's our loan extension feature for borrowers, which is a really great feature we implemented, which basically, if you cannot pay your loan back, you can't extend it. And how loan extension works is, when you extend your loan, systematically it's paying back that loan that you just gave up, and you're taking the next loan in line. So when you extend your loan as a borrower, you're either going to have to pay the price, or you'll get extra Solana back. But I did just want to mention the loan extensions for those who are on the edge about borrowing. If you don't have the capital, you can extend your loan. There's no limits to how many times you can extend your loan.
It's a rollover, right? Like it's a...
Basically.
But the lender of the first loan gets paid immediately, and then it goes on the next person in line.
Exactly. Yeah. So it doesn't affect lenders at all.
Yeah, because that might, as a lender, I might get upset if like someone kept extending the loan, because I'm like, I just want my Sol back at this point. Like, let me out.
Take back the Sol, then okay. So I have the Sharks that. Okay, so right now it's like okay. So 10 Sol, then I have the loan, 14 days, then it's getting closed because I want to roll it over for 9, etc., etc. Right?
I see 59 Decod3rs up for borrowing.
Let's go.
It's cool. It's actually cool how you guys categorized where everything I'm holding is right at the top. That's cool.
Oh Yes, as a borrower. That's why, and that's why I feel like Sharky has been keeping some of the marketplace. We make it very simple for users. Like as a borrower, instantly you connect your wallet, all of the collections you own is the collections up top. And so we sometimes get suggestions like, oh, can we favorite collections? This may be in the works. We have been having a lot of people wanting to favorite, but that's when we introduced the search. But as a borrower, implementing favorites may not make sense when all of the collections you own is boom up top. But thanks for mentioning that, Josh, because I do think it's an interesting feature that the founders thought about heavily of how to make it easier for borrowers, for sure.
It's because I was scrolling and I was like, wait a minute, bro. Well, that's the thing is I figure I'd do some live. I've never borrowed or lended on Sharky. Like I said, I minted Sharky when they came out. I knew that they would do well. I took profits. I think I sold in the 14 to 20 soul range. I had 3 of them. So, you know, I minted 3 for the price of 2 because of Vince. So I only had like 12 soul invested, and I think I made like 50 soul on the back end. So I probably made like 30 soul profit on Sharks.
That's cool.
But like I said, I never tried it out. So I figured while we're talking, let me demonstrate, you know, demo it myself. And if I had questions, you're right here. And it can't get better than that.
Everyone in the chat, put some loans on Sharky. Let's go. Okay, don't take all of your Decod3rs because you will lose your bonuses. So like just the differences between 2 bonuses level. Let's put some volume on Sharky. Let's go. That's what's up. And like also, I wanted to ask chat, like how many people have already used Sharky? Like right in the chat. Like we have a couple of people in the chat. I'm curious about that. But like if you're on Solana, like everyone knows Sharky. And honestly, we already been chatting for 1 hour. We need an episode 2, Neppah.
I know. We have a lot of talking points. We didn't even get through any of them. We've just been enjoying the conversation.
We need a 24-hour stream.
Just for the audience.
Exactly.
Freaking Vince sends me a whole document. Like, hey, these are talking points just in case. But, you know,
just
and
in
we
case.
have many of them. But that shows how good of a host and how good you guys are at streaming. So
that's because of Jazz.
It is not because of me, because I wing my shows, okay? I don't have talking points for my deep dives. I just go into it. Let's just bounce off of one another.
Also, like, you know, a great host is nothing without a fantastic guest. That's what I want to say too.
Yes, it's the guest.
Yeah. Pinto, Lender Labs aggregator, Bobo, use more on Sharky than FFF. That's what's up.
So I think I earned a turtle by Lender Labs.
The one suggestion, you talked about favorites. I think the favorites would work well on the lending side, whereas the borrow side, no, because borrow shows you what's in your wallet. You can't borrow against things you don't have. Whereas the lending side, people that are lending might want to have like they can maybe they can favorite the ones they like to use, and they don't have to search for it. But then again, I could just type it in right in the top scroll bar. So I mean. So
I get it. Yeah, exactly. I still get it though, especially as a lender. Like I told you guys, I like lending towards specific collections. Maybe these are the collections I want to see up top as a lender every time. So I get it.
Or filter the ones that are being heavily lended towards at the top that people are constantly lending for, like the favorites in a sense that have the most volume. You could always filter it that way too.
Well, that's when I want to give you guys sharky.fi/beta/order books. Type that in. But type in sharky.fi/beta BETA/order books. This is a website you can directly lend from, and it gives you much more information as a lender. It will give you the foreclosure rate to every collection. It'll give you the order books to every collection, the liquidity behind it, all of the offers and things like that. So I do want people to be aware of this website right here as a lender. It's you can filter it by liquidity, filter it by foreclosure rate. So this is more information. You can also see Sharky's volume for 24 days and 7 days. You can see our total active loans. But every time I give you guys volume, I'm looking at this page. My face is probably brighter because I'm looking at it right now.
I know, mine is too. I'm looking for listen, I have a filter in my Chrome that darks out every screen, but it is it doesn't work on this one. So I don't know what's up with the code.
Yeah, but I wanted to mention this because I like using this as a lender. You can directly lend from it, but it's got more information that lenders can use to lend more efficiently, I believe. And then on top of what you were saying about the favorites, I see somebody talked about Lender Labs. Lender Labs, I believe, has that feature if you want to favorite your collections. Now, I wouldn't want you guys to divert away from Sharky, but if there's a feature for you to use on an aggregator in the meantime while we develop, feel free to. Because with aggregators, when you use them, you're still initially using Sharky in the back end, and you still should get your rewards in the back end.
Nice.
So I just wanted to mention that aggregators are something to look into and making things easier in the market for sure, just like how marketplaces aggregate each other.
That makes sense. And Wookie, like you mentioned, high APY, low LTV. So is it like 220 APY and 79 LTV is good, or is that low enough, or should we make it lower, Evan? What? Okay.
Oh, that well, the APY is good as a lender. I'd want that. I want that 200% plus, and that LTV is also good. I've been doing daily spaces where we look at LTVs actually, and we've noticed that new mints on the market, they range from 50 to 70% LTV usually. And this is just because lenders risk. And when you're new to the market, lenders don't want to risk over 70%. So for you guys to be 80s, high 80s, I think that's good. I would never recommend you guys give higher loans unless you know you're going to be going places. Like as a team, if you know your floor price is going up tomorrow, give some loans because you know they're going to go up anyways. You know, not financial advice, but
hey, one thing I can say as a person who's looking into doing some lending, looking at this order books, what it shows me right away is how many loans are taken, how many have been repaid. So I can immediately tell the communities behind these projects if they're real bullish on their communities as well, because they're buying back their NFTs. They're not just foreclosing them. So that's some really valuable information for me as an investor. Just by looking at Sharky's site, I can get that info from the community side because I'm seeing people leverage their NFTs, but they're buying them back within 24 hours, or I could see how many foreclosures have happened. So I can get a lot of bearish and bullish information from this site that you just shared with us. And it doesn't even have to do with lending. Like me as an investor into a project, I could come to the lending protocol and then do research here based off of numbers like this and see, hey, you know what? That community is pretty strong. Yeah, they might be over invested and they're taking loans on their assets, but they are buying them back. And why are they buying them back? That's the question you want to ask. Why are they buying them back? Because they believe in the project. So this is really good info for me as an investor, period. So thank you for sharing that. And I just wanted to put that information out there too.
Oh, for sure. An investor and trader. That's the intention behind these daily spaces I host and have with Wolf Capital, actually. You guys should check it out. But Wolf Capital, and Poised Wolf is his name. He hosts spaces Monday through Friday where we check out LTVs daily. First 30 minutes, we talk about like the macroeconomic of things. Then the last 30 minutes, we talk about NFT fi. In every Twitter space, we say, look, even if you're not a lender or borrower, as an investor and trader, this is good information to know because you see where the risk is. You see where people's convictions are. For example, you mentioned LTV, V. If you see a collection with over 80 to 90% LTV, me as a trader, that should tell me lenders are bullish on this. They're convicted. They don't mind putting up 80 to 90% of the value. So then that gives you the question of why. Why do you think they're convicted? Is floor price going up? Because there's two major ways of how it can affect LTV. So LTV on Sharky in particular can be affected in two major ways. One, if the floor price goes up, the LTVs can go down, loan to value can go down because lenders aren't adjusting their offers. If the floor price goes down, the LTV percentage can go up because lenders aren't adjusting their offers. And that's particular to Sharky since we don't have automatic adjustments. And if none of that means anything to you guys, LTV just means loan to value. We're talking about the floor price value to the loan value. Simple as that. But yeah, there's a lot of information coming out. I don't want to give you guys too much.
Cool. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna slowly roll it up, because it's I don't want to take more of your time. You're definitely coming back soon enough.
Yeah, we'll have number 2, and then maybe you can send me the same document, because we haven't covered even half of it.
When part 2 is my last question. When part 2?
After the reveal. Are you coming to Breakpoint, Neppah?
Yes. Are you?
Yes. True.
I'll see you there.
Let's go.
I'm open. Will you have any Decod3rs merch? That hoodie looks good. I'm trying to. That hoodie looks nice.
Okay. Drop me your address details. I can I have some extra.
Merch. I was saying if you plan on bringing merch and Breakpoint, I'll take some.
No. We only do merch when we have an event. And this drop is it was like a mint match, but I have some leftovers, and I have one for you. Okay. And also, I don't want to travel with a lot of merch in my luggage, because I know I'm gonna bring other merch from other projects. So I'm gonna ship the merch to you, and it's gonna be so I can travel light.
I get that.
Tell them about your Decod3rs experience. How you went with an empty suitcase and came back with a full.
For real.
No, so exactly. So
I already know with these NFT events, you have to make sure y'all pack, knowing you'll be packed double coming back home.
Yes, you're traveling light. And, but thank you so much, Neppah. I think we can slowly roll it up. Thank you for the website. That's gonna be really informative. I'm definitely gonna I like that. I like numbers. It's cool.
Yeah, I dig it. I bookmarked that site, by the way. Immediately got bookmarked.
Sure. I check it out daily, honestly. It just because, for example, we're under 20,000 active loans. There's not as much liquidity in the space at all. Once we do have more liquidity in the space, you guys should expect us to be over 20,000 active loans. Okay. I think in the most bullish market, we hit almost 30,000. So just stuff like that. I like to watch daily to see where's liquidity going. Is it moving in the market? Is it moving out? Is it recycling? Because with this lending protocol, this could be recycled liquidity. So yeah, I'm glad I could give you guys more information that you didn't know about. That makes me feel good.
And we like to make you feel good. It's dope. Just we need to come to Neppah's space. Like it's every day.
Also, I think once we get our utility rolling out Neppah, and the community is really not when in our community, I think we'll definitely do something like we were talking about setting up for gambles as well, where your team comes into our Discord and actually does a showcase for Sharky in Discord. And I think that'd be cool for our holders, get a one-on-one with you. Learn about Sharky protocol, lending, and kind of like a stream like this. It won't be for views, of course, but people can get the information and they can ask you questions directly that maybe if they're looking into it. So if you're down to do that in the future, probably be after Breakpoint, down the road. Then I would love to set that up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, you guys will see more from Sharky. Absolutely. I understand the community thing. It took us a few months for our community to mature. After Mint, you're going to get a lot of win-win-win. You're going to get a lot of people fudding, which is just fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But once the community starts to mature and start gaining conviction and see that you guys will be doing what you say you do, that's when it'll be time. So I get the stage you guys are at. I remember it.
That's okay. Reveal in 6 months, by the way.
No. If you want Jazz to stay on the team, you better get that art out soon.
You saw the art. It's fine. It's beautiful. It's pretty.
I know. But the people give the people what they want. But anyways,
they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want.
Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you so much, Neppah. Thank you so much for showing up during the 24-hour. We mint you are part of the Decod3rs history. Because we mint out with you. Thank you so much for your kindness and everything that you do for the ecosystem. Everyone, thank you so much, Dash. Nice webcam. It's good.
Yeah, my camera died again. I had to switch to the webcam. Could you tell I'm a little more pasty and less pixel? I'm much more pixelated. I'm not high def anymore. I went to webcam jazz from High Def Jazz. I don't know why. It's twice tonight. My camera just overheated.
Too much content, bro.
Well, thank you guys. I'm glad we did it the time we did, because did y'all notice it got severely darker in my room the whole time? Like I'm in
the sun was going down. Same thing for me.
I have no good light in my room, so I'm glad we did it the time we did.
You just need to turn up like your website for Sharky, and then it's fine.
Just open that white screen on both screens.
It was a good one, you guys. I appreciate it.
Vince, can we get a heart? Can we get a heart on the way out?
Yes. Come on, yes. Boom. And then why the fireworks not moving? I don't understand.
They gotta be close to the face.
See? Fireworks. See? There is so many.
Yeah, the OBS tricks that he has.
No, it's Apple. It's Apple. Anyway, thank you so much. We will see you in the next stream. Neppah again, thank you so much. Das, you're the best co-host after VPIF, but we already talked about that last time.
Thank you guys. Bye.
And